Hey guys, Mary and Alexa in Tokyo for TGS 2016, and we just got finished playing Area X, which is the new area in Rez. Now you guys are going to see us wearing the VR headsets because we played it in VR, and this game is actually available in both VR and you don't have to have it, you can just play it as is. So we're going to show you gameplay from the full screen version. A lot of people when they play VR games, they do have problems with motion sickness. Alexa, you've actually been notorious for getting a little sick when you play VR games. How did this one fare?
Yeah, no, I go to Barf Town right away, and when I was playing Rez Infinite, I didn't get sick at all. And you would think, like, in normal Rez, I sort of would get, not queasy, but I would definitely feel a little uncomfortable, but nothing terrible. And when I went to play Area X, I was thinking, oh, it's off the rails, I'm flying around, I'm gonna be using my head a lot. I didn't get sick at all. There's no horizon line. They've removed sort of all of the things that indicate to your brain I'm moving, and it was a really comfortable experience for me, so I'm pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, it's incredible when you think of a VR title that they kind of have to make a game for VR because it's such a unique experience, but Rez smooths into VR pretty easy. It's already third person, it's already this open environment that's sound-based, and it kind of seems like it's just a good system to go into VR. But even if you don't play in VR, this is a really nice next step for the series of Rez, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it feels like the natural evolution of the series. I did speak with Tetsuya Mizuguchi, and he mentioned that when he first came up with Rez, in his head he thought of, I want this in VR. So when they announced it back at PlayStation Experience, everyone was like super surprised, like, oh, Rez in VR, people, you know, still love Rez, and it was a surprise to see it come back as something new. And having played it in VR, and having played the new Area X in VR, where again, you're just off the rails, doing whatever you want on your own pace, you could fly around, you could only focus on enemies and do whatever you want. It feels like the natural evolution of Rez, and it feels like definitely one of the more comfortable VR experiences that I've had. Up till now, I haven't really been sold on VR, like, oh, VR is a gimmick, but this is the game that really did it for me, I think. Having just those 20 minutes to just fly around in Rez.
Yeah, I agree. Like you and I have done so many VR demos in my time, and not just in like Sony VR, but like Vive, or there's so many different things that we've played. There are certain games that can sell VR. This is one of those experiences that makes you feel like that this really is the future. It's the perfect time for VR where it's not making people queasy as much, and it's you know, the technology is there, and then this game is like chocolate and peanut butter. It's like really kind of combining those two elements in a good way. But again, even without VR, would you say that Area X kind of really helps convey the new area of Rez Infinite and just like what this experience is for people, for fans of the series?
I really think that if everyone who's played Rez has thought about, you know, what if I'm not on the rails? Rez has always been on rails. I feel like taking it off the rails was the natural next step. And I don't know, having it in VR, like seeing it not in VR is like really cool too, and it's really excellent, but like I had a really emotional experience playing it in VR. Like I was just thrilled. Like I played standing, I felt myself starting to dance and starting to move and like really immerse. And yeah, playing it without VR, I think you can get sort of the same feelings from it and play it the same way and still enjoy it, but like, oh, you gotta do it in VR. Gotta do it in VR.
Yeah, this is like one of those experiences that if you like had everyone over and no one had VR before, and we even had someone in our group who had never done VR before, and this was their experience, and it blew them away. Like this is the next step for VR that's gonna like really shake people and realize that this is hardware that people are gonna start wanting. But again, without it, it's still a tremendous Rez experience. It's really like great beats and audio, and such a visceral experience with all the lights and colors, and there's a lot of secrets. The footage we can show you actually is not fully into Area X. They have a lot of surprises, but some of that area is stunning, and it's just a truly heartfelt experience. I think it's something that I'm really glad I tried. It sounds like you really enjoyed it too.
Yep, I'm sold. I'm sold.